Hey, what's up, guys? Today's going to be a very different video. Today we are talking about one of my passions in life, which has been a passion for a long time, which is psychology. The reason why we're talking about dedication today, which is what we're talking about, is because someone in my life has been showing great dedication. It's inspiring. It has inspired me, and it's also because the things we talk about on stream are not always about games. We talk about life. And a couple people came up to me, even smaller content creators. Yes, it's possible. And they've asked me, listen, Eddie, you manage a full time job, you manage working out like 4 or 5 times a week, you manage 5 YouTube videos a week, 5 streams, whatever, sometimes more. How do you do this? And what they don't know is that I have time to spare. Basically, to read up on psychology, to play the guitar, to sing, to practice my singing, my music, to record my music, and to do all this. And they're like, well, there's only 24 hours in a day. So how do you do that? And it boils down to something very simple. It's just all about the dedication I'm willing to put into my days, how I manage to plan my days, how I'm willing to go through the days without feeling like I'm losing out on anything by not fucking around. Because that's really what it comes down to. So we're going to break this video down in a couple of steps, a couple of things that I think might help you guys plan your days around what you want instead of doing what you want and not planning your days around anything. Because what I see most of the time is that when people wake up, they go to their day job and then afterwards they're tired. Of course you are. I'm tired too. The first step to all of this is understanding how discipline works. Discipline is something like a bottle of water. And when you wake up, your bottle is full. What happens in our society is that the bottle is drained throughout the day because we wake up and then instantly we go to work. You have to work for a job you might not even like that much for 8.5 hours, 9 hours. Maybe you're even like with traveling, you're gone for 10 hours. Let's say those 10 hours are gone. So is the bottle of discipline most of the time. So it's really, really important to understand that that's how discipline works. It's not like you have the same amount of discipline throughout the day. This is also why people, when they want to lose weight, they wake up, they have their good breakfast, and then everything's going fine. They come back from work and then they order a pizza. Why? Because your discipline is gone. So you might say, Eddie, well, if my discipline is gone, then how am I going to be able to do anything after that fact? After the fact, my discipline is gone. I'd say you really can't if you're trying to wing it. The important thing here, which is step 2, is you need to realize that in order to do what you want to do, you need to know where you're going. You need to know your goal, what are you working towards, and when we're younger, when we're like 1, 2, 3, you don't have to think about that. 4, 5, you don't. Primary school, and then it's very simple. You just go to school and then afterwards you can do whatever the fuck you want. Then in middle school, it gets a little bit different. Do you have some homework and you do that or you don't, and it doesn't really matter. At some point, you're going to be at a stage in your life where you don't necessarily have that much of a plan. It's not made for you, so you have to make it yourself. So I see many people, and I was like this for a long time. To tell you a little bit about myself, when I was 18, I graduated from high school and I didn't do fuck all for 2 years. Why? Because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know what you want, then how can you make a path? Get a goal. Why? Step 3. If you have a goal, you can set out the path. When you're feeling good, when you're not stressed, you can think about it, you can make a path towards that goal. What that means is you now know where you're starting, you now know where you're going. So you have like this little box you can work in. And if you know where you're going, then it's easy to say, okay, what do I need to do? What do I have to do every single day to get to that goal? It might be anything. It might be I want to learn how to bake apple pies. It might be I want to start a YouTube channel like I did, or I want to improve my singing. For this example, let's just take content creation because we're on YouTube, and that's basically why people ask me this most of the time. Let's say you want to start a YouTube channel. You know where you want it to go. Otherwise, think about that first. What kind of YouTube channel do you want? Do you want to make videos about music? Do you want to make gaming videos? Do you want to make gaming videos based on the game because you're so skillful? Or do you want to make gaming videos like I do because you want to build a community for people that feel that they can be themselves and they don't have to stress and they can learn a thing or two about life if they want to, and we can talk about those things, you know? So set that up first. Then what do you need to do? Well, you have to create YouTube videos in order to be a YouTuber. So how many do you want to make a week? Okay, let's say you want to make 3. I always say 3 is a very good place to start. So now you have a start and a finish. So every week, your start is you have no YouTube videos. And every week, your end goal is you have 3. And you have uploaded them, they're finished, they're live, everyone can enjoy them, and that's it. It's very simple. It's a very small thing. Okay? Now you have something to work towards, and that's when the dedication comes in. Dedication is not something that some people have and some people don't. I used to be called lazy all the time. My dad was always like, "Oh my God, I've never seen anyone more lazy than you." And he was right. But it wasn't laziness, it was not having a goal. So I didn't know where I wanted to go. So why would I even move? If you don't want to go anywhere, there's no point in getting off your ass. And this doesn't only go for making YouTube videos, this goes for working out, for learning something new, for studying, for anything. This goes for everything. So this is where the dedication really comes into play. Dedication is nothing more than telling yourself your goal and then saying to yourself, whatever happens, I need to do these things to accomplish this. It's nothing more than that. So now you know where you want to go and you can set up all these small pieces of action which you have to undertake in order to get to your goal. Now one of the pitfalls for loads of people is that, okay, we have now set up a goal. Let's say our example was we want to lose some weight. Let's say we want to lose a pound a week. It's very simple, very easy to do if you know how to do it. So let's say that's the goal and we are working out 3 days a week, and then that's going to happen because we're also eating healthy. So what do you need to do for that? You need to work out 3 times a week. You need to make proper meals every single day. You can now set it up in a way in your brain that you don't skip that. How? Because you know where you're going. Make a plan for the week. I can show you I can tell you about one of my normal days. So I have a couple goals because I've been doing this for a while. One is 4 or 5 Twitch streams each week. Twitch, hard to speak. Twitch streams a week, 5 YouTube videos, and I want to practice my guitar at least 5 to 10 hours a week. Same with my singing. And I want to learn at least, I'd say, an hour a day. I want to learn something new. So, for example, something about psychology, something about whatever it is. It doesn't really matter what it is, but I just want to have that kind of time. I have to plan that around my day job. I stream Monday through Thursday every time, always, for 3 hours from 7 to 10. Before that, I upload a YouTube video. To upload a YouTube video, I need one. So my Sundays are just recording YouTube videos and creating content. If I'm not done by Sunday, which most of the time I'm not, I have to pull that into Monday, Tuesday to finish the videos for later in the week. And it can be difficult, but my normal day starts at 8 o'clock. I wake up 8 o'clock, 8:30 I start work, 8:30 to 5 in the afternoon. And at 5 in the afternoon, I make dinner, I eat, and at 6 o'clock, I start making my thumbnail and uploading the YouTube video happens then. Then it takes about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Then I start up everything for the stream. I go live at 7. Then from 7 to 10, I stream on Twitch. Then at 10 o'clock, I take like a 15-minute break and I drink something. Then I do my workout, which normally takes about 45 minutes. Then after that, I have some free space. So it's now 11 p.m. I have some free time because at this point, I have a choice. Do I want to practice my guitar playing? Do I want to, talk, socialize with someone? Do I want to call the person I'm dating? Do I read about psychology? Do I watch a podcast? I have some choices. I have 3 hours there, which I can just use for whatever. Most of the time, I end up having to work on some more YouTube videos, which is fine. But I still have that window of 3 hours where I can just do whatever I want. So even if you don't want to progress into something else, you might say, okay, those 3 hours from 11 p.m. to 2 in the morning, I'm just going to fuck around and play video games, which you could do. You could, but it's your own choice. You could always try and learn how to bake an apple pie in that time. And that's the dedication part. It's understanding that if you set up your day in a certain way, you'll be able to have more control over the time you have each day. Because what you see happening too much is people that are not dedicated towards one particular thing, or maybe it's multiple things, and it ends up just wasting time. And you might say you sleep from 2 in the morning to 8 in the morning, that's not enough for me. That might be the case. Arnold Schwarzenegger always says, well, then you have to sleep a little bit faster because you only have 24 hours. You only have 24 hours in a day. And trust me, 6 hours when you're eating healthy should be fine. And if not, on the weekends, you can get back some of that sleep if you need it. In the end, it's a couple of points. It's all about knowing where you want to go. You have to set a goal. If you don't have a goal in life, however small it is, you're not really going to get anywhere. My life completely changed when I said at the beginning of this year, look, this year I'm going to really do this YouTube thing and we're going to have 1,000 subs this year. That was the goal. And we're already almost at 1,000. Like, we're smashing through it. And I hope we can just spread some more positivity around this YouTube channel, because what I've found is there's enough suffering, there's enough evil in life. I think it's kind of our responsibility to spread some joy, some encouragement, and some love. So I hope that's something everyone in this channel is very keen on doing. You might be thinking, what the fuck are you doing, Eddie? What are you talking about? Why the fuck are you talking about these psychological bullshit things? But I think they're important. Let me know in the comment section down below if you agree with that. So to come back to the original statement, dedication is nothing more than knowing where you're going and forcing yourself to do it. And trust me, every time you do it, you get a little bit braver. Every time you do it, it gets a little bit easier, because it's not about having to do it perfectly all the time. Arnold Schwarzenegger talks about this. Loads of very, very successful people talk about this all the time. I think I've heard Oprah say it as well. Perfection doesn't exist. If you strive for perfection, this is what happens. This is exactly why in January you always see 1,000 people in the gym. Why? Because they say, okay, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to train 5 times a week, and it's too much. And then it has to be realistic, because this way they miss 2 workouts and they think, oh, I'm not perfect, so now I'm a failure and I just quit. So that's something to keep in mind as well. You don't have to do things perfectly. I miss YouTube videos too. I miss streams sometimes. Sometimes I feel very, very, very bad emotionally. It happens to all of us. Sometimes life hands you lemons and you're not able to make lemonade. So don't think you have to do it perfectly, but you do need to set a goal. You do need to think about these things. What do you want to do with your life? What are you doing right now? Is it something that will sustain you in the long term? Are you feeling that what you're doing is meaningful? And if you find something meaningful, just set a goal for yourself that's realistic, especially in the first year. We'll talk about enlarging your goals later on. That's something we can talk about in a different video, because that's the way envisioning something works. At the start, you have to be very realistic, and then you can just raise the bar, raise the bar, raise the bar. And then even if you don't hit this goal, if you come out here, you're still higher than when you just lowball it and you make the goal. So that's something to keep in mind. Dedication is nothing more than knowing where you want to go and forcing yourself to do it. Every time you do it, you get a little bit braver. It gets a little bit easier. And the fun part about it is, every night when you go to sleep and you've done what you said you were going to do, you are going to feel like you've done something meaningful for yourself, and you're going to feel like you've really achieved something in that day, which, trust me, that's something I really hope everyone can find in their life, because that is something that will make your days 100 times better. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this kind of video. Let me know in the comment section down below if you did, and I'll see you guys later. Eddie, out.